We begin major stories this evening with breaking news. Registered voters in southeast Clarendon will go to the polls to elect their next member of parliament on March 2. The Prime Minister made the announcement in a statement to the media this afternoon. Nomination day will be Wednesday, February 12. The by-election became necessary with the resignation of State Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Rudyard Spencer. The Prime Minister said it was his duty to ensure proper functioning of the government, which includes keeping the parliamentary majority intact. Ruddy Spencer defeated the PNP's Patricia Duncan Sutherland in the February 2016 general election by 958 votes. Meanwhile, a waste of taxpayers' money to settle an internal political score. That's the reason given by the People's National Party for not contesting the by-election in southeast Clarendon. This as the JLP Member of Parliament Ruddy Spencer has resigned with immediate effect. The move has now set up a major political play for the Prime Minister, who got the chance to test the political waters by calling a by-election. It is viewed by JLP insiders as a genius move orchestrated by the Prime Minister and party leader to prevent major fallout in the governing party. It was the battle for the North Central Clarendon constituency, now held by Speaker of the House and political veteran Pernell Charles. Parliamentary Secretary Senator Robert Morgan and Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation Pernell Charles Jr. both had an interest. That battle royale now averted as another vacancy has arisen in the parish. Ruddy Spencer resigns from representational politics. He will be replaced by Charles Jr. as the party's standard bearer. But speaking in Parliament on Tuesday following the announcement by the Speaker of his departure, Mr. Spencer said with 2 gentlemen and 1 seat, he took a decision.
The truth is, I am not being pushed out.
Spencer said he has done all he can to help Charles Jr.
And so when I said to Mr. Hollis, you can have the seat. And Mr. Hollis said he would like to put Pernell down there. I went with Pernell, came to Longville Park.
But with a by-election in the offing and despite having a candidate in place who has been working in the constituency, the PNP says it will not be contesting the polls. PNP Chairman Fitz Jackson is questioning the need to spend millions of dollars of taxpayers' money to hold a by-election when a general election is imminent.
Mr. Spence has no health problem, no personal emergencies, and in order to settle a political score within his party between 2 of his colleagues, he has chosen to impose on the taxpayers over $30 million of expenses for a by-election.
Mr. Jackson described as baseless any suggestion that the party is running scared from another by-election defeat, having had bad fortunes in the last 3 during the current political term.
We are focusing on a general election, yes, and we will not be distracted by the Prime Minister.
The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the government remains vigilant in its efforts to protect the country from the coronavirus. Cabinet has approved a national coordinating mechanism, which means the Ministry of Health and Wellness will work with partners such as the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management to ensure this becomes a reality. The minister says restrictions on travel from China remain in effect. Aladdin Love has the details.
For travelers who have visited China in the last 14 days, only Jamaican nationals, permanent residents, and those with marriage exemption will be granted landing privileges.
Clearly, our nationals cannot be disallowed, if you will, from coming to their home, to their country. And so Jamaicans will always be accepted, but they would be restricted in terms of their movement.
The health minister notes there is at least 1 main quarantine facility, adding that currently there are 13 persons in quarantine and 1 in isolation. He reiterates that each traveler from China will be assessed using a special risk assessment tool to determine whether they are high or low risk and should be quarantined in a government facility or at home. Meanwhile, border protection remains top priority.
We have engaged some 329 frontline employees at the Norman Manley International Airport and Sangster International Airport, including immigration, customs, port health, airport police, Jamaica Fire Brigade, aviation services, various airlines, and management staff at the ports. The training sessions have focused on the new coronavirus with respect to roles and responsibilities of the points of entries as well as facilitation of prompt recognition of infection or potentially infectious persons and implementation of an appropriate intervention.
Some 50 senior nursing managers and 50 physicians from the public health system across the island have been sensitized. The death toll from the coronavirus outbreak in mainland China is now at 490, and a further 24,324 people on the Chinese mainland have been infected, China's National Health Commission says. Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
The Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, is calling for the introduction of the electronic trading platform for foreign exchange to be fast-tracked. The Jamaican dollar has been depreciating since the start of the year, which is being exploited. EPOC says the new system will increase the visibility and reduce exploitation in the market. Jamila Maitland reports.
As of February 5, the U.S. dollar closed selling an average of 141 Jamaican dollars. Just a month ago, on January 5, it was selling at an average of $130. The Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, says the uncertainty in the foreign exchange market disturbs business planning and creates panic in society which can be exploited. Co-chairman of EPOC, Keith Duncan, says the country is in need of a centralized trading platform so businesses and individuals can see live trading of foreign exchange dollars by the minute.
The introduction of forward contracts, the introduction of the electronic trading platform should lead to some reduction in volatility, which should reduce the kind of spreads we've been seeing that is so, causes so much anxiety and uncertainty for market players.
The Bank of Jamaica introduced a foreign exchange swap to authorized dealers in January. The arrangement involves selling U.S. dollars to dealers at the current market rate with the agreement to repurchase in the future. It announced at its quarterly meeting last November that the online trading platform for Forex will be tested in February and is to be made ready to commercial banks soon after. But how will the new mechanism stabilize the Forex market?
What occurs now is that if I'm a buyer of US dollars, I have to actually go into the bank, and then I don't know what the other bank is offering. And when I am a large buyer and I call up my financial institution, can be our authorized dealer, one price is one price will be X and one price will be X minus Y, and there is no visibility and transparency.
Reports are that local businesses have begun to exploit the volatility in the Forex market, quoting prices for clothing items, food, real estate, tickets for events, amongst others, in US dollars at an alarming rate. The EPOC co-chair says with the online trading platform, the public can see how the dollar is being traded live and make informed decisions. Jamila Maitland for CVM Live.
Islands is to be used for the medical industry. CVM Live sat down with the exporter Bali Vaswani of Kaya Group about the historic event. Jamila Maitland reports.
First commercial shipment of Jamaican cannabis oil has been sent to the Cayman Islands. The extract from ganja CBD oil was processed and packaged by Kaya Group for sale and exported for medicinal use. Medical cannabis oil is legal in Cayman with a prescription. However, no local cultivation or production is permitted on the island.
I was definitely excited, and more than anything, this is not for research, it's for commercial sale. This is starting to say that not only can, there's an industry locally, but regionally and internationally.
But this is not the first time Kaya has exported marijuana products. They exported ganja seeds for their agricultural project in 2015. However, Chief Executive Officer Bali Vaswani says this time was different. The process took about 9 months. Jamaica has no existing legislation for the exportation of marijuana. The Ministry of Agriculture revealed at Parliament's Public Administrations and Appropriations Committee last week that the act is drafted and will be brought to Parliament come April. Vaswani explains that the company has been working with the Cannabis Licensing Authority.
Today was a historic day. In terms of it, I'm sure you've heard, in Parliament and stuff like that. We went through last year there where we were trying, they were trying to pass the final exportation rules. And on a case-by-case basis, Jamaica has been working with a variety of countries to do our exports. Today we're able to complete our first commercial export of ganja oil to Cayman.
Kaya Group says it's looking to expand to Trinidad and Tobago as well as Barbados, citing that the medicinal use of marijuana in the region is untapped. The CEO says the company currently treats a child with epilepsy using CBD oil.
Our kid was having seizures and had to go to the black market or smuggling from Canada or the US and stuff like that, and now can just come down to the shop in Falmouth from Montego Bay, get it, and have it diagnosed and know consistency over and over. It's the exact same product.
Jamaica Maitland for CVM Live.